if you could just remain standing and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
If you could please be seated, state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Osiris Terrell, Osyrusterrell.
Please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Terrell. Do you remember the evening in the 5 o'clock hour of April 2nd, 2024?
Yeah.
Why do you remember that time and day?
It was pretty miserable. It was raining, like, pretty bad.
Where were you?
I was over by the beach.
And where, are we talking about in Milwaukee?
Cudahy.
Okay, is there a particular park or area that that beach is associated with?
Warmont.
Warnemont Park?
Yes.
Okay, were you there with anyone?
Yeah, a buddy of mine.
Who is that?
Evan.
What's Evan's last name?
You couldn't ask me that a million times.
And you don't know?
No.
Okay. So what happened at the beach that made you remember this day?
We were walking down there, and there was a severed leg.
A severed human leg?
Yes.
Okay, where was that?
It was near the end of the trail down there.
Before we get into more details about that, could you describe what this area is like?
It's pretty, there's a lot of clay falling down from the cliff nearby, so it's pretty iffy if you can even get down there sometimes. And that week, it was raining pretty bad, like all week.
Okay, so you described the day that you were there as being pretty miserable in raining.
Yeah.
And do you remember that it was raining previously in the week?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you describe, Warnemont Park's a big area, right?
Sort of.
Okay, can you describe the area and how you would get down to the beach area that you're telling us about?
So there's two ways you can go down there. You can start from Sheridan Park and walk down the trail that way, but you're still gonna have to climb over a lot of stuff. The other way is there's like a gate on the south side that you can go down, but the hill is pretty steep, and even when you get down there, you have to climb through a couple trees just to get to the area, and it was raining for the past week, so it'd be pretty miserable to do it.
The gate that you're talking about, is that part of a paved road?
Yeah.
Like a service road?
Yeah.
How did you become familiar with that area?
I've been going up and down that entire area for years.
If you were just in Warnemont Park, not down by the beach, would you necessarily be able to see this area?
Yeah, but there's a lot of trees in the way. You'd have to be like kind of at a weird angle.
And would that be like from the bluff area?
Yeah.
So you're down there with your friend, Evan, right?
Yeah.
Describe where you're walking when you see what you discover to be a human leg.
Kind of like the beach line, really rocky area. It was covered in clay and just stuff falling from the cliff. It's probably like this much ability to walk around the area.
Okay, and you're holding your hands out, maybe
Yeah.
a 3 or 4 foot, 3 foot spread?
Yeah.
Okay. And what drew your attention to that bluff area?
It was just the intention the whole time. There's no other way we couldn't go back just because the waves were pretty like extreme that day. So we had to go over there, and we just had no choice.
What drew your attention to the leg?
It was a pretty narrow path, so it's kind of hard to miss. At first we thought it was like a mannequin leg, and we got a closer look and realized what it really was.
How'd that make you feel?
It's kind of hard to say even now. I don't think it's really hit me, but yeah.
What did you do?
We went up pretty much immediately, called the cops, and that's all I really remember from that time.
The police department came, right?
Yeah.
And did you have contact with a police officer or a couple police officers?
Yes, but most of the time I was in the car.
Okay. Were you down with the police officers on the beach area?
No.
You told them what you told us here today?
Yes.
I don't have anything further. Thank you.
Cross.
Did you see any other people down by the beach when you were there?
No, it's just us that day.
That's all.
State anything further?
No.
Thank you, sir. You may step down. State your